I'm Dave and this is Logan, out once again for a walk in the New Forest. Thanks for joining us. Now today we're at a place called Shirley Holms. It's to the northwest of Lymington and to the east of Sway, in the south of the forest. And we're going to be doing a roughly 3-mile circular route to the north across a lot of open heathland, but predominantly today we're going to see if we can find the Marlpit Oak. Now, I'm filming late November. It's about 8 degrees. There's quite a wind, so it feels a lot chillier, which is why we're all wrapped up. Hopefully the wind won't be too bad for the microphone. The sun is out, but it's not a lot of strength in it, and it's quite low in the sky, so there's going to be some challenges today with shadows. But hopefully it won't spoil the walk. We just need to keep moving, so do join us. Well, I've parked my car at the Shirley Holms Forestry Commission car park, and I'm going to make my way north. The actual car park is based in a very old quarry. In fact, on one of the old maps there's a stone highlighted, but I can't find it. But there is a very old boundary bank just behind me here. Right, let's kick on. Well, just so that we can get our bearings, I'll just explain exactly where we are. If I just pan round, you can see the view I'm looking at. So this is looking north, and we're basically on the bottom half of Setley Plane, which you can see is a vast open area, mainly heathland, a lot of gorse and a little bit of heather about. Now in the far distance on the right, at the very top of that ridge, is Setley Pond, which is where we've done a walk in the past. But so we're now going to head in that direction over there. Just to the left of me, it's difficult to make out, there is an old Bronze Age barrow. That's glorious. I just wish the sun had a bit more heat. Now we're making our way across the heath, and just in front of me, or slightly to the right, there's the first of 2 railway lines that we're going to see. And this is the single track branch line that just runs from Brockenhurst through to Lymington. It's only about 5.5 miles long. It was built in 1858, but it does have just a little bit of history attached to it. You'll remember the old slam door carriages that used to be on trains. Well, those were withdrawn from the national network in about 2005, I think. But on this line they carried on using them for another 5 years, and then finally in May 2010, I think it's the 22nd of May 2010, they stopped using them. And I've got a photograph of the last ever train with a couple of carriages with slam doors, and the photo was taken at this very spot. Now before I came out here today, I did a little bit of research on the Ordnance Survey map and noticed there was quite a large earthwork, and I think I found it here just alongside me. I don't know if you can make out, there's a, well, it looks like a ditch and then a very small bank on one side. No one's 100% sure of its origin, but it certainly goes back a few centuries, that's for sure. The other thing I want to look at, again I noticed on an aerial map, was this figure of 8 tracks, and I'm going to see if I can find that. Unfortunately you can't use a drone on the New Forest, it's actually illegal to do so. I think there's one spot that you can at Bewley, but apart from that, unless you got permission from the Forestry Commission you can't use a drone. So we'll see if we can find it anyway. Now Logan is now in disgrace. He thought it'd be a good idea to roll in some fox poo, as you can see on the side. So the first thing he'll be having when he gets back is a bath. In the meantime, I'll be keeping a little bit further away from him than I normally do. Wow, here we are. I found that figure of 8 track. I think it's just a canter track. There are a few stables nearby, although it is quite tight. I can only imagine that's what it is. Okay, well, we're going to get out of this wind and we're going to carry across the heath and over to those woods in the far distance. A beautiful colour of the yellow on the gorse and the sunshine. A lot of the leaves, of course, have gone off been blown off the trees now, but you still get a little bit of colour out in the forest at this time of year. Well, just before I come off the heath, just looking back towards the south, and I can just about make out the top of a tower. I'll see if I can get a zoom photograph for you, but that's Sway Tower, built in 1879 by Andrew Peterson, and it's very much a local landmark. It's the tallest non-reinforced concrete building in the world at 218 foot high. It's in private hands these days. Just panning across, this little valley here is called, I think it's Widden, W-I-D-D-E-N, bottom, and it's a little stream that flows off the heath and eventually joins up with the Lymington River, I believe. Well, now I come to my second railway line of the walk, and this is on the western side of the plain, and this is the main southwestern railway line. And if I pan around over the top of the bridge, and there it is. It's unlike the branch line on the eastern side, this has got 2 tracks, and so the station to the north will be Brockenhurst and then Sway station to the south. This particular section was built in 1888. It was a very difficult stretch of railway to build due to the Barton clay here, which is very sticky, and there were often sudden falls of the unstable banks, resulting in a number of deaths by the navvies working here. In fact, the navvies often used to get their clothes covered in this yellow-blue sticky clay, giving the impression that they'd been working in treacle. And for many years afterwards, even as recently as the 1980s, Sway was affectionately known as the treacle mines. And so we're standing on a bridge here. There's about 4 bridges in very quick succession, which might seem strange because they're quite substantial structures, but it's all part of the agreement between the railway line and the Crown. In order to build the railway, they had to make sure there was plenty of access for all the livestock, so that's why there are so many bridges. I've just got to wait for a train now and give you some footage of that. Hey, not 1, but 2. We've now made our way to the location of, well, it was the main reason for the walk, to see if we could find the Marlpit Oak. I'm at some crossroads. I'll just turn around to show you where I'm at. So we've got the B3055, I think it is, here. So that comes from the north, from Brockenhurst. And, well, I won't pan round because you'll get the sun in your eyes, but it goes to the south to Sway. And then you've got a road coming in from the east from Setley, and it goes to Wilverley in the west. It's called the Marlpit Crossroads because indeed there is a Marlpit here. In fact, let me show that to you now. Well, here it is. It's just by the crossroads, so apologies if you hear a bit of traffic. And it's an old disused pit where they used to dig out marl. Now, marl is a very rich clay, and it used to be dug from pits like these and used as fertiliser on land or to build houses. And there is a common right to dig marl, but it's no longer exercised. Well, as I say, the reason I've come here to see if I could find the Marlpit Oak. If you look on a very old map, you'll see that the tree itself is individually annotated, just like they used to do with other well-known trees like the Nightwood oak and the Eagle oak, but it doesn't appear on any modern maps. Now, this little area here has got a little bit of history attached to it. Way back in the 1800s, 3 highwaymen, probably sailors, set upon, should I say, a traveller. They murdered him and they dumped his body in a nearby river. They went off to a local pub. They bragged about their crime. The landlord overheard them. He called the local militia. They were arrested, tried and hanged at this very spot, either on a gibbet post or possibly the Marlpit Oak itself. The pub itself was called the Three Feathers or possibly the Three Pigeons, and for a while it was known as the Three Murderers. It was eventually demolished and rebuilt, and that pub was called for a while the Oddfellow Arms, and then it became known as the Filly Inn, which is still there today and I believe is haunted. Whether there's any truth to any of that story, I'm not so sure. There is another pub nearby called the Fleur de Lis, and that might look like Three Feathers, so perhaps it's been mixed up over the years. But anyway, back to the Marlpit Oak. Now, what I was trying to do is to compare that old map with the current map. Now, the crossroads today are slightly different. The road that comes in from the east was moved 50 yards to the north a few years ago. I think there'd been a fatal accident here, but I reckon that where the road from the east joins the B3055 just opposite is roughly where the tree is on that map. So let's see if we can see anything. Well, there's the road that comes in from the east, and directly opposite, sure enough, there is a fairly old oak tree. Now, it's been there for a while, but is it old enough to go back to the 1800s? Maybe. I wonder if that is the Marlpit Oak. Who knows? I'd like to think it was. We're now making my way back south towards Sway. Just crossed one of the many bridges that goes over the railway line. As we head towards Sway, just to the south of me here, I think it's called Pitnor Lane, something like that, is the location of what was the smallest of the 12 RAF World War II airfields that were in the New Forest. And last year I had a little look round there to see if there was anything still there. There isn't, it's basically just a field. But I did do a little video, it's only 3 minutes long, no commentary, just music and text. So what I'll do at the end of this video, I'll attach it on, and if you want to have a look at it, you can do. As regular viewers will know, this is a pony pound. There's quite a few of these dotted around the New Forest. This is quite a small one, used of course as part of, or primarily with the pony drift each year. This one's actually quite close to the main road. They normally have a funnel, but just trying to work out, oh yeah, I reckon they funnel them through there, and then they capture them in here. And as I've said before, they have this rustic feel to the wood to make it as stress-free as possible for the ponies. But you've got to be pretty skilled when you're doing the pony drift, because as I said, the main road's not too far away over there. But well, they are very skilled riders that are involved. Well folks, we've come to the end of our walk. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up or a like, and do make a comment. Hopefully the wind hasn't been too bad on the microphone and the sun's come out. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, then hopefully you'll be able to join us for another walk sometime in the future. We're off back home now, and one of us is going to have a bath straight away. Why do dogs do that? I really don't know. So I'll put on that video about the World War II RAF airfield at Sway. Hopefully you'll find that interesting. And until we meet again, thanks for watching, and cheerio. I'm not going to kiss you today.